So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in, so it's been a while since I put out a video. Been extremely busy with the businesses and just everything else going on. But today what we're going to talk about is how I set up my hog trap to catch hogs. So I have different hog setups. So I have a couple different hog setups. I'm going to go ahead and show you one of them today. I'm going to go ahead and get in there, walk around, and show you how everything works and everything operates. This is a question that I get from time to time is how do you set up a hog trap? I have hogs. I live in the city, I live in the suburbs, and we have a bunch of hogs running through here. So it's getting more and more common to have a hog problem, even if you live in a more populated area, because a lot of development is going on where, you know, the habitat of the hogs are usually at. And what happens is it starts pushing the hogs back and forth. So you have a development going on over here, pushes the hogs that way. Now you have a development going back on over here, pushes the hogs back and forth. So these are questions that I get occasionally, so we're going to go ahead and address it today. So what we have here is a hog trap that has no base. So as you can tell, there is just plain dirt underneath it. You can actually see right there, that's the bottom of it. And this is just made out of bed framing, old bed framing. It's a really old bed framing. This is a little bit sturdier than some of the newer bed framing you'll find. Basically what it is just cheap angle iron. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, so here we used some paneling, some smaller square paneling, because a lot of the hogs sometimes are smaller and they can fit through some of these bigger openings like this. So this is just regular cattle panel, and then these are more like hog panels. What else? So this is the exact definition of a hog panel right here. It's smaller at the bottom and bigger at the top. And these, I believe, are called, like, what are they, goat panels or something like that. But either way, they're really stout. They're really strong. I mean, you can tell this top panel has been bent a little bit because we get a lot of bigger hogs that will just come up and hit it and hit it and hit it, and they start bending it. So one thing we're going to do is, this thing is pretty light, so I had to, you know, anchor it down a little bit. So I put some T-post and then just some zip ties just to hold this cage to the T-post. So there's 4 T-posts there. And then sometimes they like to get a running start and they will try to run into this thing. So that's the reason we have this spike there. Now, this spring I have to keep renewing. I have to keep buying a new spring every time this thing wears out. It's not there yet. Still is pretty, you know, has a lot of stretch still left in it. But once they wear out, yeah, you do have to buy a new spring. So right here you have another little piece of angle iron. It's just going to catch it whenever the spring pulls it back. It's just going to catch it from, you know, getting stuck or something like that. But basically what we're going to be doing here is we're just going to show you this. So I have a lock here. It's not locked, as you can tell. It's open. And all I do is I just hook it on there and hook it off whenever I don't want to be catching hogs. And we just ran this cable through the lock itself. So this way you guys can see it a little bit better. So we just ran that cable through this lock, and again, I don't lock it. All I do is I just put it on here, because it doesn't matter if this thing comes off once the door is shut, because as long as this spring is still here, it's going to keep the door from swinging back open when the hogs are running through it. So it doesn't matter if that comes off. And then we have this cable, and it runs all the way from there all the way to the back of the cage. So it runs all the way on the long, right here, right here, right here, and then it comes back inside. So I use this thing. You might be wondering, why the hell are you using this? Well, I have found that, at least in my area, I don't know if you guys have the same similar problem. Comment down below if you've seen the same thing happen with your hog traps. But I have found that sometimes if you use a piece of metal or use something that is not organic, By organic, I mean something that is not natural, which in this case a stick is natural. The hogs tend to avoid it. So if I use like a piece of metal like this to slip in through this knot right here, I found that the hogs won't even mess with it. They'll just avoid it. I guess they've gotten conditioned to learning that, hey, this isn't a natural thing found in our environment every day. You know, something's fishy about it, so they won't even mess with it. So that's the reason I started using sticks. It's been about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years that I've been going with sticks now, and it works every single time. So that stick gets placed. Let me just give you a little practice stick here. There's, let me get in here. So there's 2 nails, one right here and one right here. So these are the 2 nails right here. So this stick is going to get placed right here. And that point that points up is basically like this. So that way I pour corn all around this little area here. And so when the hogs are rooting it up, they accidentally hit the stick, and then boom, the trap shuts. So works pretty good. One thing I am going to tell you guys is that to make sure you don't have this too close, say if I had moved it over here, or I guess too far back. If I moved it too far back, this thing would be hung up and it wouldn't shut the door completely because it doesn't have enough leeway to shut the door. So just make sure you measure it out correctly, and you don't want to go through all that effort of buying corn and getting it all set up, and then the trap doesn't work correctly. So kind of just measure everything out, make sure you have enough room for the door to shut completely, and that it's not going to get stuck here and the door's not going to shut. They will be rooting around, so just be aware of that. Some people put some stakes all along the bottom. I haven't had to have that issue yet. As you can tell, I've dug out quite a bit just being in here, but they haven't gone underneath. And yeah, guys, just be careful when you do catch them, because they are agitated and aggressive once they are trapped like this in a confined space. But yeah, we catch a lot of these guys. They run through here all the time, so we had to find a way to kind of mitigate some of the damage they're doing to the property. But yeah, guys, that's how I basically set them up. I do have another hog trap that I haven't been using lately, but if you guys are interested in it, I will definitely make a video on it if you guys are interested. It's basically a guillotine trap. If you don't know what a guillotine trap is, it's basically what it sounds like. Back in the olden days, they had guillotines that would chop people's heads off, basically. That's what it is. It's just a trap door that when the hogs hit it, I have it set up, the hogs hit it, the guillotine door will drop and just trap the hogs. But that's pretty much my simple little hog setup. It's been effective. I think I have a couple clips of the hogs in here from the past week or two, and if I do, I will go ahead and upload them on the video as well. But yeah, that's a simple hog trap, inexpensive. They're fairly easy to build if you wanted to build it yourself. I have seen some places that sell them as well, like a Tractor Supply and any of your feedlots or feed shops. Sometimes will sell hog traps. There's different styles, so just buy whatever works for you. And again, sometimes the hogs get smart, so you may have to switch things up, but they're a nuisance. They create a lot of damage. So yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that video of how to set up your hog trap. Without further ado, be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.